What's up, everybody? This is Passion 9, and the Scouts are back in town. That's right. We have Season 4, Episode 6 aired tonight of Attack on Titan, and holy crap, there is a lot to unpack. There is a lot to unpack here, because this episode, viewers, this is the episode that brought back the Scouts. The Scouts are back. Their grand, opulent, magnificent return to form was everything I wanted it to be, for the most part. Mind you, this was a strange episode. This was a very strange episode. The Warhammer Titan, just straight up giving the shout out to our magnificently horrific new Titan monster, which already upends a lot of long-standing rules of the series in some really cool ways. But this was a strange episode for a lot of reasons, and some of those reasons I think are pretty neat and fascinating. Some of them do raise a few concerns, but we'll get to that. This episode, continues where we left off with Titan Eren Yeager devouring the head of the Tiber family, Willie. And I have to say, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When this episode was first airing, I thought for sure I had a real... I had a bet that he was going to be the Warhammer Titan. He was going to be the one with the hammer, the mysterious new Titan, with this bizarre hardening ability that can create weapons, a hammer, a sword, a crossbow, you name it. This Titan can use its hardening ability to spawn weapons, which is pretty goddamn cool. And I thought, oh, maybe it's this guy, right? Because, he had that big speech. He was obviously set up as an important character in this plot. And no, as it turns out, he did this as a sacrifice. We learn right at the beginning of the episode this was all planned out. He knew he was probably going to die after giving that speech. That Willie Tiber was going to serve as a martyr of sorts to add sympathy, a huge deal of sympathy, to the Marley Eldians, which is interesting, to the Tiber family in particular, for their rousing and sort of selfless speech that was given about why the Eldians of Paradise need to be, or Paradise, I still don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, as the real enemy. They are the ones that need to be taken out. All of this was set up to get the rest of the world to recognize, hey, these guys are the ones you should be, pointing your guns at. These are the bad guys. And all of this was done to make Willie Tiber the sacrificial martyr behind all this. So that's kind of interesting. That was his purpose in the plot, was to get eaten by Eren. So it turns out our Warhammer Titan was... I can only describe her as a maid. Some woman dressed in a maid's outfit. I don't know who this character is. Now, this is one of the strange things that kicks off my few quibbles with this episode, is that there are things that feel a bit rushed. I don't know who this woman is. Apparently, she's the sister of Willie Tiber? Because at one point she does say... in fact, it's one of her few lines of dialogue. She's like, brother, your death will not be in vain, or something like that. So I take it she's his sister? And it's weird because I don't remember her being introduced in any of the previous episodes. I don't know who this woman is. I don't even know her name. I don't think it's given in this episode. but maybe it is, and I'm just forgetting something that was dashed over really quickly. It feels like something might have been skipped over, or something, maybe introducing this character was not there. Now, I don't know if the manga covered it better, or if this is really just the source material in general, and we're not supposed to know who she is yet. Because apparently, as far as this episode goes, she does survive. So there's certainly time to establish her better. But this mysterious Tiber family member, decked out in this maid's outfit, is this crazy, just definitely one of the strangest and most gimmicky Titans so far. And I mean that in the best sense. Really awesome character design, really awesome abilities. I can't wait to see more or learn more about this Titan. The fact that she doesn't even reside in the nape like most Titan shifters do. She's in this like cocoon. In fact, it was a crystal cocoon that looks a lot like what Annie wrapped herself in. So I wonder if that's gonna, come full circle in some way. But yeah, Warhammer Titan, all on board for that. Hype for Warhammer Titan. Cool new character, cool new monster. Magnificent. I loved it. I loved just how bizarre this new Titan monster was. And how freaking wild was it that Eren just starts wailing on her while she's still in mid-transformation? That was like some shit right there, man. Like, you get so used to these anime, especially any of them that involve like lengthy transformation sequences, where it's like you usually suspend your disbelief, and it's like, okay, they're gonna go through their transformation and the other character is just gonna sit there, that's just par and parcel for this kind of thing. It's part of the entertainment language, no problem there. No, Eren's like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna start pulverizing her before she has a chance to reach her full maturation. Fantastic. I thought that was really cool. He just starts pounding away like, holy crap, damn Eren, you're just eager to get that Warhammer Titan down. In fact, he's trying to devour her and steal her power, which is pretty rad. Anyway, I thought that was a neat detail. Just lots of little, like, I want to say Titan subversions in this episode. Lots of things that just kind of shook up the foundation a little, kind of broke the rules. Which is what any good mythology does. You set up a lot of good rules, you set up a lot of groundwork for how things should work, and then you break them every so often, just to add some shock, just to add some layers of mystery. Like, what? All of a sudden, the rules are changed, things are more complicated, This Titan did that for me. Warhammer Titan was just all kinds of rules being broken with how this Titan works and how it conducts itself. And considering how much had to be jam-packed into this episode, considering how much gets squeezed and sardined into this episode, I thought, man, good job just like getting all that shock value and subversion in there, because Warhammer Titan was definitely not skimped over in any way, or it didn't feel like we weren't getting enough of this new monster. Fantastic stuff. And while we're on the subject, Eren Yeager, what a freaking cold-hearted boss he was in this episode. Like, just doesn't give a fuck. As soon as he transforms and sees all the generals and soldiers, Marleyan military just staged over there in their seats, boom, 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 he just starts pounding away and just killing them all, and it's like merciless. And at first you're thinking, oh yeah, just freaking Eren Yeager getting that sweet revenge. But this episode drops some serious weight when, of course, our awesome scouts, Mikasa, Sasha, the whole freaking gang. In fact, the only one who wasn't present in this episode was Armin, which we'll get back to. But holy cow, freaking Mikasa just coming in at just the right time, just as Eren was about to lose his first Titan transformation to Warhammer, who was doing a pretty good good number on him. Mikasa just freaking their new gear and they've mastered their skills. Their gear and their skills are like top form now, so they are just blasting through this shit, killing Marley and soldiers and weakening the pretty much disabling the Warhammer Titan. Amazing stuff. But the pivotal moment here was where Mikasa, and I would argue it's one of the weirder moments in this episode. Another one of these strange quibbles, or something that, you know, might become a quibble. I'm not sure yet. But we get Mikasa in this emotional moment where she's like, she saves Eren's ass, and she's just like, come home, Eren. Come home. What are you doing here? What have you done? Why are you killing all these people and attacking like this? You know, the women and children were in this we're at this gathering, and you know, you've done something that can't be undone. And she's crying and she's tearing up, and it's like, after this badass moment of saving his butt, and you're just thinking like, wait, did Mikasa not know what was going on? Was she not a part of this plan? And what about the rest of the scouts? We know that Jean was hiding incognito after the little teaser in that first episode. But like, what does she mean by that? Come home. Like, how long was Eren actually in Marley? You know, how long was this planned out? And how many of the scouts were actually in on it? You know what I mean? Because Mikasa, the way she enters the scene, the way she pleads to Eren to just give up the fight or come back to their home island, it comes off as like, was she not involved? Was she not involved in any of this? Like, where was she on all this? And it makes me think two things. Either the next episode is going to give us a lot of information about, you know, where Eren fell into all this, how long he's been in hiding in Marley, and how many of the scouts were involved. You know, what was the origins of all this? Where did it begin, and who was involved? How many of them were actually in on it? Is this something that was kind of ill-conceived or done recklessly? Like, seems like there's some hints of that. Or, and I hope this isn't the case, I fear this could be the case, is Mappa kind of forced to rush through this material and skip over a lot of stuff that the manga already covered. Now, it could be a mixture of both for all we know, but hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this is stuff that'll be adequately explained soon, and we'll be given a little more perspective on what the heck's been going on with the scouts and with Eren. But it's regardless of how it goes down or how it's explained or validated further later on, it is a really emotional, weighty moment, because it's like Mikasa just looks at Eren like, well, like a monster. She's like, you know, what have you done? What are you doing? Like, come home. And Eren just doesn't give a fuck, man. He is so cold. He is so steely. His resolve is just 100% vengeance. And it's completely simmered over. He doesn't have that rage anymore. He's just kind of like, just continuing my plan. I don't care. He doesn't give a crap. You know, he doesn't actually say that, but his mood conveys it. He's just like, I don't care. And of course, the scouts are still dedicated to him either way, so it's hard to know what exactly is happening here. And again, Armin is nowhere to be seen in this episode, which makes me think, my theory, is that he's already hiding out somewhere, and he's going to burst onto the scene as backup as the colossal Titan power. That's my expectation here, given that we already have previews for the next episode with, you know, the Beast Titan joining into the fight. So things are going to heat up quite a bit, I'm sure. And, yeah, it's got me pumped. It's awesome to see the scouts again. Like I said, just the fact that they're so powered up in this episode. They've obviously upped their technology. Their uniforms look really freaking... Hell, they're not even uniforms anymore. It's like almost like tactical armor they have on now, which is a really cool new design. And the way they just burn onto the scene as like these... Oh, man, just this amazing unit. But it puts them in a very, like, villainous light now. Because we see Gabby, of course, witnessing this on the ground level, and she's horrified and she's angry that some of her young comrades were already, you know, their lives are already lost. What was it? Udon and Zofia were already, you know, killed during this raid. So she's just burning with rage already. People dying around her left and right. So, you know, it's... Obviously, there's an air of tragedy to what is happening here, and even the Titan Shifter, I still can't remember this dude's name, but the guy with the really cool lion-looking skull-faced Titan Shifter guy, he's obviously scared out of his wits. Like, he gets to a point where not only is Eren kicking his butt, but our scout regiment are like just zoning in on him with no fear whatsoever. They are like just freaking professional Titan killers now. And you know, Levi joins the fray. Levi and Mikasa just both working together. And he's just like, can't they see I'm a Titan? They're not afraid. They're not even the least bit shooken up about it, approaching me. And you could see the horror in his expression, and he's just like, they're actually gonna kill me. These humans just flying around with no fear whatsoever are gonna kill me, a Titan. It's incredible stuff. It's chilling, because that's just how badass our scouts have become now. That's just how badass they are. And we even get a moment with Sasha. Quick little moment with Sasha Browse. Pulling out a rifle and just ending some Marley soldiers around poor Gabby, and she's just like reloading in the distance, like, yeah, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna kill this little girl. You know what? She's fine. And Gabby's just standing there in horror, just looking out. It leaves you with so many conflicted feelings, because it's like, these are our heroes, you know. These are you know, our heroes behind the walls that were fighting these monsters, and now you're kind of like, you feel a sense of like anguish and guilt at what they're doing and what their mission is now. So, man, so much in this episode, so much that goes down, and I have to hand it to Mappa. Lots of CG. Even the scouts at some points, when they're like descending and flying around, are rendered in CG, and they look good. They look really, really sharp. Like, they put so much effort into the CG. I've said it before in previous videos, but it's like Orange Studio quality. Really, really good stuff. The Titans especially look really good. They're almost always CG most of the time. And they look fantastic. It looks so good. It's so well shaded, and has such a tangible grit to it that it doesn't look like, you know, a sterile character model. They look really good. And yeah, for the most part, aside from like a slight feeling of rushing along, I do hope that, you know, like a lot of people, that whatever Mappa has in store, whether it's a split core season or not, hopefully they're managing the material well, because there is a slight feeling of rushing along here. The way this episode doles out details and introduces things and characters one after another. But I'm hopeful. If nothing else, when it comes to sheer entertainment value, this episode was freaking crackerjacks. It was fantastic. And And it's so cool to finally see our scouts again, looking so different, looking older and more hardened. Mikasa and her new short haircut is an interesting thing. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for more Attack on Titan warfare. You know, the fuse has been lit officially. The fuse has been lit. War is going down. Attack on Marley has started. And I've said this way back. I've had this thought way back when they revealed the poster with Eren Yeager's Titan form just, you know, looming over the city of Marley. Like, I've had this feeling where it's like the shoe's on the other foot now. You know, that's it. The roles have reversed. Now our heroes, for better or worse, are the monsters. You know, they are the devils from paradise that are wreaking havoc on this city and its civilians. You know, they woke a sleeping giant. To pull out a little historical quote there, like they woke a sleeping giant, and it is all hell set loose. I can't wait to see more. But yeah, fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. And I am psyched. Viewers, till next time, stay tuned and live for the passion.